Hi everyone. So I'm gonna go to sleep soon. So because it's really late, but I just wanted to uh, put some update about my current situation. Because there was I realized that actually on Sunday when I was supposed to go to work, I actually didn't really go to work. Yeah, I woke up, like 45 minutes before the whole thing, before I normally wake up. I normally wake around 7:50, but when I woke up, it was actually 45 minutes before that. It's like 7:10, and I realized, oh, I'm so tired. I just want to try to go to sleep again. So by the time it happened, I realized, as time, as you continue lying, you realize I'm really not well. Okay, so I call in sick. I let's left a message on the group chat to the boss of the school, and he called me just to make sure, and told me just to leave a message. And yeah, the anxiety and the PTSD is definitely causing a lot of different things. Like Monday, for example, after I come back from the gym workout, and then I'm supposed to do stuff like eating my lunch, preparing for class, lesson with a student, remote work, everything. Instead of reading, I get really really tired. I just doze off. I really doze off. And the thing is, I actually doctor put me on this course of medication. Sertraline is supposed to be a short term measure, as he told me, to get me to feel better before I and then actually to improve my mood and my appetite, so that I can at least eat properly instead of constantly fearing food. Yeah, I probably said that I have problem swallowing and everything, and it's not like there's something down here, whatever. It's just that I have a fear of food, and something is that you can't really explain to people. People will think that you're just crazy, and I kind of realized this. The thing is, when on Friday when I went to see doctor, he noticed a few things. He said, I just read your medical records. I was kind of figuring out what was going on, but I just wanted you to tell me. And then he took like 3 blood tests and a urine test. Then he told me to go down on Saturday or Sunday just to get the results. Thankfully, there's currently a program, this medical program here, where it's subsidized, and so we don't have for people who are going to use medication for long term, like whether it can be psychological medication, or even whatever, like you can use it for the long term. And so the thing was this, he said that on Saturday when I stepped into the consultation room, he said, I figured out you must probably be checking your phone. um, since you were taking a long time to come into the consultation room after being called. And he said, oh, you were actually asking the staff twice on Friday, on yesterday and the day and today, as to how long the waiting time would take. And it's like I heard that, I take notice of that. You see, the doctor is a very young doctor, and the fact that he actually asked about that basically means that he was my anxiety, my PTSD was becoming quite obvious. Yeah, and I realized this. You know what? Sometimes it's just the way it is with PTSD, and stress, anxiety. Okay, but what do I want to say this? Because you realize that when you are living through this thing, sometimes the thing is this. It's not, as I've always said before. It's not a linear process. Sometimes like me, for years I have not had all these things going on since 2018, when I actually addressed them, and I went for counseling, and I started ask for help. I asked for help in 2018 because I realized that I wasn't in a good state, and I really needed some means to just go back and find some. Yeah, I went back to Australia. I went back to for a while. It's not a very long time, 2 weeks, but went back to Korea in 2019, and I kind of realized that the constant traveling actually allowed me to find some peace and balance, at least in familiar surroundings. And this is something, I don't really like traveling to new places all the time unless the place is really really safe and good. but I really love traveling to places that I know, such as Japan, Korea, Australia, even Canada, where I used to live. So, and yeah, so I kind of realized this, and then after COVID and everything, now this thing recently just came back, the PTSD or so many other issues. When I'm trying to tell people about this, there are only two groups of people: the ones who really ask and who express concerns, friends telling me, that some friends, from long time told me, you need to get better. I think rest is good for you. Don't scream on your sleep, and if you really need to eat, don't, if you can't eat now at the moment, at least eat more nutritious food later, because if you don't have any nutrition, you can end up becoming malnourished, and if it's not being malnourished, your parents and your mother will get so worried. And I mean, but the thing is, me, I said, I just have anxiety. So the thing is, the full aversion comes from PTSD. The doctor even asked me about it, like what was the trigger. And I realized that some people just don't, there are people who don't bother to ask why, what's the cause. And the thing is, I realize is this: when you are trying to recover, not everyone will understand you. Some people might just, it triggers my abandonment trauma. I mean, to be honest, it really triggers my abandonment trauma. That's what happened last time, 2016, when I lost everything and I was like this brink. I knew that I was on the brink of a discard by a narcissist as well. But things, they always plan such things. That was what I realized back in 2016. And no one can tell you, what, you shouldn't remember, you shouldn't, because that's how the body reacts. Body and the mind will always react. They will always keep and remember all these things. And so don't downplay the whole significance of trauma and trauma anniversaries, because we always remember. We are made to remember things. This is a way to protect ourselves. And I realized this when I was talking to one friend. It just really offended me when she said, after a few days, she said, I wish you all the best, but I'm not responding to your messages because I find it too negative. And then I was like, what? And it's like, so now I'm the problem just because I need. And he said, oh, there's nothing I can do to help you, but I wish you all the best. You see the degree of gaslighting. Now it's my fault for telling this, and then you don't want to even just listen. I said, I don't need anyone to help me. I just want someone to be there and say, hey, how are you? I'm listening, even if I can't help you. But what I said was, what, if you tell me that you have your own stuff or whatever, and you don't want to hear me talking about my own struggles or sharing, then fine. I'll leave you. I'll stop bothering you forever. Okay? Forever. I will never talk to you again. And I told one friend who was a counselor before she married and became a full-time mother, a not housewife, but yeah, homemaker. So I'm not sure whether she's still working. Actually, probably not working right now for her. She just said something like, there was a period and I think she went to Malaysia, yeah, because not sure whether the husband's Malaysian or not, but yeah, but anyway, he's a Catholic. So so she converted from like, I mean, she was the one who brought me to Faith Community Baptist years ago. She converted from an evangelical Christian to become a Catholic. And she's a good person. So she told me, you need to get better, and sometimes you can't share with everyone your struggles. That's what she said. But she said, one thing, I'll help you check out. She did offer to help me check out like counseling for certain things like Catholic hotline for those who are like volunteers, so that in case I'm interested in asking for pastoral or religious counseling, that I can always check out with them. And I'm confident they don't just apply their counseling just to Catholics, although it's run by Catholic services. And yeah, so I just want to say something like, this whole thing about people, when I realized this is actually many years ago, when I was struggling. I mean, the worst thing a person can do is to, just tell you, when they run away or they disappear, they can give you all this excuse later on when you're better and tell you, oh, all this pain was too much for me to bear. I can't take all that negativity. And it's like, it's basically victim blaming and gaslighting, and I don't buy that. Okay, it's very 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 selfish and irresponsible. I mean, there are people who just don't tell you anything. They just hear a bit and then you just disappear. That's fine, but don't you ever do such stupid mean stuff to tell someone who's suffering that um, you don't want to hear it, that they are the one who have brought it upon themselves. And I just said, get off your your judgmental high horse. Of course, she didn't think well to me saying that, but I always say it. And I told that one friend about this, the Catholic friend, and she said, sometimes I guess that I said I can't talk to some Christians for this because it really just shows the tone. I think when Christians say this kind of shit, like the BS, it's about negativity or whatever. Where does it come from the Bible that you as a person that when you're suffering that you cannot or you're going through some crisis you cannot share? Job had his friends to share with, although his friends didn't see it from the same way, and some of his friends are giving really wrong advice. The thing was this, and she just said something because that friend who I plan to stop talking to for the rest of my life now, because of all the fact that she said she didn't want anyone to bother her with all this so-called negativity. Uh, she attends a New Creation Church, which is like a church that teaches all this stuff about positive thinking and everything, name it, claim it, word of faith, prosperity, health, and gospel. I just said something to this Catholic friend. One thing, I mean, as someone who was from I was very angry. I told my mom, like this is just an example of what happens with these Pentecostals and charismatics, that they have this whole thing. They blame you with your mental health struggles. It's like you can pray away the depression, pray away the blues, pray away the anxiety, but if it still remains after prayer, that's because you didn't have enough faith, because you didn't trust God enough. It's not the way, okay? And it's like basically again it's all this gaslighting and everything. And what my friend, the Catholic friend, said, she just said, what, this is actually really wrong because this is a very petty idea of God as someone who's very petty. That I know that like you look at the Bible, there are so many cases of people who were depressed. I mean, Elijah was so depressed. He even asked God, why am I not dead? But God didn't let him die. God actually told, sent an angel to comfort him, make him fall asleep. In fact, twice fall asleep, wake up, the angel, when he woke up, the angel told him to go and eat. And after that, the angel told him to go and sleep again, and then couldn't wake up and eat again. So sometimes, the thing is that I mean, we don't have, we might not have like the benefit of Elijah, who actually had an encounter with the angel to tell him to eat and sleep. But this is what we can only do, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just eating, sleeping when I'm not working out and when I'm not doing my work. And that during the time when I'm doing work, I had to really pretend that I'm okay. But the thing is this: it's okay not to be okay. And that that's the name, that's the title of a drama, Korean drama, and that has like yes come out with in the new, not in the news, but in like the recent media, that I mean mental health issues, mental illness, whatever, or mental health struggles. All these are things that we all go through, and especially we live in a very stressful societies and everything. You will definitely go through it, and I think almost anyone who has been through abusive situations too will go through that. You can just dismiss someone and tell the person that you don't want to hear, and it's very unempathetic. You just know at the end of the day who your real friends are and who you just can't trust. You just want to tell them to F off and screw and bugger off, but you don't want to because I told my friend one thing about these people. I told my mom actually. You know what? They're being bunch of BS because you know what? There was something that was written by YouTuber. He said in relation to the faith healing thing. Um, I prayed for my grandmother. After praying, she's still dead. um, it's not a joke, but it just reminded me of my situation with my grandmother and my grandfather. After praying, they were both still dying, and my grandfather passed away more than 30 years ago. My grandmother passed away just 2 years ago, and I'm very very shattered. I've been very shattered even until now. these people are just heartless people. But you know what? Now I know who my friends are. After all this, it's pointless to keep on doing this, and then I know that I'll be planning some other things. I mean, my one of my friends in Korea, I just told him I'm going to go to Korea maybe in the end of the year for 1 month. And yeah, I just want to really find something, maybe find a school there and whatever, or just do something new. He said, asked me once because he's only a few years older than me. He said he's 50. So he said, "Are you going through what Gingneong Key, which is Gingneong Key is like in Chinese, it 更年期 means like menopause, midlife crisis or something like that, male menopause." And I was like, I'm like 47, but he said people go through that, and it's like, oh, you know, when you're in their late 40s, they start questioning life, and they don't feel happy in their work and everything. And he himself is not really happy in his work, but I mean, as someone who is like divorced, who's single, who doesn't basically have anyone, but he doesn't live with his family because his family is all the way in Seoul and he's in Cheonan. But I realize it's not really just that. I don't think it's that. But I mean, a lot of us go through that, and the situation for me is like it's just that PTSD. And you know, the doctor asked me about my PTSD, what triggered it on that Saturday. I mean, you know, on the very Saturday when I went to see him. Uh, the first thing I told him was, I don't know, I just saw a third party post of someone, and I realized that he was linked to an ex-abuser. He's a colleague, and oops, then he said, sounds like these people are very toxic. You don't want to actually go near these people. And yeah, but I kind of realized that anyway. I hope that the 1 month medication will at least help to gradually ease me in terms of my appetite. So I'm still not really improving much, but I mean, because I mean, it takes time for medication to like to work up in the appetite and the mood. But at least I know I'm not like doing stuff like, I mean, I'm not breaking out and crying or whatever for no apparent reason. But I still have to pray and sleep. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm gonna go off and yeah. So in all cases, just remember, the thing is be careful about who you share your struggles with. And if someone is really just like that, they don't want to hear you. You know what? I don't regard them as that people I want to keep in my close circle. So when they come back again, it's very simple. I don't need to talk to them. Okay. And I know it's all going to, all this will pass, all this will pass, will improve. I don't know how. I just have a kind of faith. I cannot explain why. I always realize that sometimes when I thought that things can't work out, they'll work out very strangely beyond like what I knew. And it was just like the case with Japan, like when I had job offer in Japan many years ago, I thought that I wasn't gonna get any job. The thing is I was waiting, and all of a sudden I had an interview. So I prepared for the interview. I I didn't do my best in the interview, but I did try what I could, and they did give me some advice on what to do. And I mean, those faculty who interviewed me, and then I got a job. I got a job offer. So my friend told me, you know what? I think God is really looking out for you, although you don't think so. But I I just pray now. Now I just pray. I don't know why. I just have this strange feeling that although I seem to be in this state where a lot of things are going to expire within a few months and within the end of the year. Yeah, I think it's like something saying, you know what? I need to start moving onto something. And if I hold on to things which are there, which are still there, still here, or which are almost like not worth holding on to, how is God going to give me things that He wants to give me in the future? It's not going to be like that. Okay. So anyway, yeah, just going to have sleep now because it's quite late. And yeah, tomorrow's a little bit better because I'm going to actually meet a student for her literature assignment. But and then I'm going to, yeah, just do my work. I can't be doing things like with a workout with this kind of mindset. Okay, so I have to go on, everyone. Okay, bye bye.